Indigenous evaluation moves beyond the realms of paper. It is something that is deeply interconnected in our countries, in our systems, in our ways of thinking, our knowing, doing and being. Kaya, Whadjuk. My name is Jessi Gidgup-Lovett, proud Noongar, Whadjuk and Koori Gunditjmara man, First Nations evaluator as well. My preference is that evaluation needs to be done from the outset. There is value in evaluation. And if you can understand what type of value you're going to add from system design and the impacts that it's going to have on people from those decisions that you make, then it's really important to understand how that is designed to shape those decisions that are going to have impacts on people. Us as Aboriginal people, we're vessels of knowledge. We have been practicing evaluative thinking for thousands and thousands of years. Tapping into that is something that I get to do, that comes to me organically. And I think that with that, there's so much wisdom that comes to us mob in our dreaming, in dancing, in ceremony, in songs, in songlines and art as well. And country is so important, it's at the heart of everything that we do. So for funders that are excluding those ways of knowing, doing and being, no one's going to benefit from it. We know this land, we've lived off it for 65,000 years. So let's go to the people who are here first and work with us, because we want to work together to be able to achieve healthy country and healing.